Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Real Hero Show. Nick here with you, and in today's episode, we're going to be going over episode 4, season 2 of C. And if you haven't seen this episode yet, which has been out for a few days now, then I suggest you go watch that and head back on over here to have a little bit of a review with myself. And I'm just going to dive right in. If you're new here, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. Help support the channel. Hit the bell for all of our future notifications about our content that gets released on a weekly basis. So let us dive right in. A bit of a less violent episode in this episode here. We get the wedding day between Princess Magra and Lord Harlan, which has finally come to pass, and it should set up for some interesting drama in the last 4 episodes of this season here, and we actually start to see a little bit of the drama unfold once Magra's son Kofun is reignited. And that was an interesting scene there with the two of them, as he's not really happy to hear that she's getting married because of the loyalty that they're supposed to stay true to, with Magra being married to Baba Voss, Mr. Jason Momoa over here. And as we know, he is alive, whereas people tend to think that he's not alive at this moment. It's going to be very interesting, and I kind of wonder how much bloodshed might happen, or if he's going to get locked up, or what will actually unfold. So it'll be very interesting in the drama sense here. A pretty touching moment between the sisters. I think there's no doubt that they do love each other, and despite what we might think as viewers that they have plans that they're trying to sort of have for one another, but they're also sort of doing for themselves in secrecy, ironically both with Lord Harlan here. Again, it's going to be really interesting to see if those two end up in a feud at some point in time this season, or even going into the next. So another interesting point, it was actually kind of funny when Toad says, "I have so many questions about Kofun and his whole arrangement there." We have another interesting point where flip the sides, where Dax, which was one of the witch hunters that wanted to kill Kofun on the journey back to Pensa with Toad, he goes before the Travantians and sees Ido Voss, and of course Ido Voss, as Dave Bautista says, that to kill him, and he says he has information, and information that he actually already knows and suspects, but he keeps him alive up to this point. I don't really know how much information he'll actually be able to present Ido Voss, aside from maybe a way to infiltrate Pensa, and maybe use Dax as a double agent. So we'll see what happens there. And one thing that's interesting for Ido Voss, every time we sort of see him in an episode, he's kind of getting scolded by like the higher council and saying that he's failing, and obviously he did mess up, but it wasn't really his fault because of Ren, who helped Haniwa escape. So that was also a very interesting journey, as Paris, Tamakti Jun, Haniwa, and Baba Voss are going back to Pensa, and they make a pit stop. I believe it's pronounced Valier, not Valier. And Tamakti Jun is familiar with that place because he's killed a number of people there. So he's very hesitant about actually going forth and staying in the city, and obviously the people in Valier are familiar with who he is, and so Baba Voss says, "Hey, listen, chill outside the city, we'll come and get you." And as they're there, kind of waiting and trying to heal Baba Voss so he can actually make the journey to Pensa alive, it's Bo Lion who recognizes them on their journey, that Baba Voss actually sensed, and Paris knows who Bo Lion is, and she's the one that overhears Baba Voss and Tamakti Jun kind of arguing, or rather, as Tamakti Jun kind of wanted to be self-righteous in go before the people and sort of surrender and atone for his sins. Baba Voss says, your time isn't done yet. Your punishment will be living every day knowing what you've done. And we've heard that in a number of movies and in TV shows before, as living every day knowing that what you've done can be more painful than taking the easy way out and being killed or getting killed. And they basically say, like, your time will come. Paris has a little conversation with him about that, which was actually pretty moving between them. I think it was a really cool scene between Paris and Tamaki Jun by the little pool there in the ice with the water. And of course, Bo Lion knows where Tamaki Jun is sleeping at night, and she wants to basically go kill him. Paris stops her, again, kind of says, this isn't, we need him, and his time will come again, right? So I wonder, at some point in time, will Tamaki Jun, will he make it past the second season? Will he actually live? Will he sort of atone for his sins and maybe be a sacrificial lamb in a way that he allots himself to save people from certain death, and sort of take the arrow, take the shot instead of someone else. It could be a stab or some sort of wound, but you get the point. Another interesting point that was sort of a little Game of Thronesy, where we've got Queen Kane asking Kofun to trust her, and says he'll be protected. But the one thing I'm wondering about, because it was kind of getting a little steamy in there, is she trying to woo him, or is she just trying to, again, gain his trust and maybe to some degree get him to turn on her sister and his mother? But she does need someone to impregnate her that can see, and since she killed Boots, Kofun obviously can see. So I kind of suspect that'll happen. Again, it's a little bit of a ancestral moment, and not too far off from Game of Thrones. For those of you that have seen Game of Thrones and know all about that with the Lannisters. So I'm not sure if that'll happen. I wouldn't really put it past it for it to actually happen. I just wonder if we'll actually see it this season or the next, since she had a miscarriage and lost the one that she previously had with Boots. And again, with the concept of the people there at Pensa not knowing what is or what has happened from Cervanti and the people there, it kind of being in a rage that Tamaki Jun and Baba Voss have escaped with Haniwa. Harlan and Magra ask Kerrigan, which is Harlan's brother, for a favor to go into the camp, the city, and stage a rescue, break in, bribe, do whatever you need to do, just get it done. But little do they know that Haniwa is on her way back along with Baba Voss. So I'm kind of, again, wondering what sort of drama will ensue there as well. Interesting sort of feel at the end of this episode. They say there's about 2 days of journey to Pensa from where they are at Valier, being Tamaki Jun, Paris, Baba Voss, and Haniwa. So I'm kind of wondering what it'll be like, because once they actually return, and they sort of pose their own questions, like, I wonder what Pensa's going to be like. And we already know as viewers what's happening, and we have an idea of what might happen. And again, I think the outrage from Baba Voss of what has happened, and he might demand the queen to rectify this, but it'll be too late. So I don't think he'll idly sit by and let some other guy try and woo his wife. So again, I think there will probably be more bloodshed in the next episode, so we'll get back to that, as it's been a pretty heavy theme thus far in this season, which I've enjoyed, but that's just me. And again, it has this sort of feel like it would in the end of Lord of the Rings, the first movie, where they're kind of thinking that the journey will get a little bit better, or even The Hobbit, and little do they know that the road ahead is going to be very, very rough, and what lies ahead is actually going to be, dramatically filled with negative circumstances. So sort of a slower episode, but I think there are some really, really good points that actually move the overall plot with characters between the sisters, between Magra and Kofun, so the mother-son connection. We still have the group that's on the way back to Pensa with Baba Voss, Tamaki Jun, and Paris, and Haniwa. So again, it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens in the second half of the season. So overall, I'd say this first half of season 2 has been pretty enjoyable. Much better than season 1 on both halves of season 1. I would probably give this episode maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. Like, it was good. It was my favorite one this season, but I think still promising, still better overall than what we've gotten from season 1. And again, as I mentioned in the last video, I think this season's a higher step up on the pedestal here for just overall ratings for this show. So really looking forward to seeing what this second half of the season has to offer us. So if again you're new here to the channel, we really appreciate all of your support by hitting that like button and subscribe button as well. Again, hit that little bell icon to get notified for all of our future content. And we've got a lot coming out this week with What If, going over Star Wars Visions. We'll have our Ted Lasso reviews as always, some DVD reviews, and the new show on Apple TV Plus, Foundation, which we're really, really looking forward to. So until the next video, I'll see you guys. Peace.